For anyone who is in need of a little more hope, let me give it to you with three powerful insights from the feeding of the 5,000. Jesus teaches us whatever we are lacking, hope, love, resources, he shows us three powerful insights right here in the feeding of the 5,000. And that's what I want to share with you today. So, let's set this up on what's going on at the time right before he feeds the 5,000. So we know that Jesus has been out teaching all day and healing. The disciples have been with him. So later that evening, they come to him and say, it's getting late. It's time to send them out into the villages so that they can get some food because we don't have anything here to feed them. What Jesus says next is so instructive. They offer him a practical solution. Here's his response. You give them something to eat. Now imagine that. They're thinking, look, we're already looking out for the crowd. We're trying to get them to a place because right now we're in a desolate place. We don't have anything to give them. But Jesus, the first thing he teaches us here is that he does not allow his circumstances or his environment to dictate what is possible. Now, the second takeaway is that what does Jesus do next? Because we see the disciples offer what is like a practical solution, but Jesus demonstrates radical faith, a radical faith. So now what does he do next? So he instructs the disciples to begin, because remember, it's a large crowd of 5,000 people. What is so instructive here is we see that Jesus allows his expectations to precede any evidence. That is so significant. He doesn't need to see any proof. He knows he's going to go to his heavenly Father. Sometimes we can take a posture of, I need to see something before I can act. I need to, I will arrange these people once I see that my Father is going to multiply what I have. Jesus is turning that whole way of operating on its head. The first one we said was he does not allow his circumstances to, in his environment to dictate what is possible for him. And the second thing we see is his expectations always precede any evidence. Powerful. That's all just mind blowing. And the third insight that we see is there is a sense of stewardship. Someone has brought Jesus the 5 loaves and the 2 fish. So he's taking what he has. His next act is he turns to give thanks for what he has. In God's economy, that's how it is. Where are you in life where you want more? Are we giving thanks for what we already have before we're asking God to multiply what it is more that we desire or might need? So that is also very instructive. And now here is the thing. This is what's interesting. So I see Jesus as being a good steward because he is thanking his Father first. But then I also see this, and it's interesting because once he feeds the 5,000, we know that there are leftovers, but there's this Luke 9:17. He instructs the disciples, gather all fragments so nothing is lost. Isn't that interesting? Sometimes we can take for granted those things that God provides for us. So it's like, oh my goodness, well, look, he provided so much to the extent where there are leftovers. Oh, well, he'll do it again. No, he's teaching us we have to be good stewards over what he already gives us. And so this is a powerful lesson today around what is possible when we are in a place of lack, when we are in a place of desiring more. So what are those 3 powerful insights? First, Jesus doesn't allow his environment or his circumstance to dictate what is possible for him. Second, his expectations always precede any evidence. And third, he is a good steward. He turns to his father. He gives thanks for what's in his hand, for what he currently has. And as his father multiplies what he has, he then is a good steward over not letting anything get lost, not taking anything for granted. This is a beautiful, beautiful story. It is something that is relevant in our lives to this day. I hope this has helped. Love you guys. Talk with you real soon. Bye bye.